guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Aileen, and if you're not, welcome back. So today we're gonna take a look at the new Tom Ford, ooh, that's bright, Mercurial quad. So let's open her. She does come in this velvet case and this stunning silver reflective, ooh, that's reflective case. So we're gonna do just like we did last time, because you guys seem to really enjoy it. We're gonna do the dry look and the same exact look wet, just to see the different opacities. And I do have a couple quads, Tom Ford quads, that we may swatch it up against and see if any compare. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then keep on watching. But before we go, comment, like, subscribe, ding. Let's get to it. Okay, so first let's do the swatches. Oh, and I do have my complexion on. I have the Tom Ford Soft Matte, and this is in the shade 6.0. I have the Beiges Chanel Cream Bronzer, the Tom Ford Brow Gel, the Dior Concealer, and over, because I'm oily, so over that cream bronzer, I did go in with the bronzer that comes in the Hourglass Sculpting palette. And then I did little hair strokes with my Hourglass micro pencil. But I'll have everything in the description box, but I could throw on some mascara and go out like this. Mascara and a lip. We're ready to go, because baby, we bronzed for the goddesses. Yes. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at the swatches for this palette and then see how they compare to the other Tom Fords. And they will be the First Frost and the Honeymoon. So I'm going to do the swatches in 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. I'll leave a little space between the swatches so we can see if we find anything relatively close. So this is 1. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, that swatch so nice. This is 2. That's a nice pinky rose goldy shade. You guys know how much I love that. And then this looks more like an eggplant purple. That's 3. Oh, that matches my sweater. Yes, that wasn't even planned, but it worked out. And then the darker pink looks like a pinky purplish shade. So that is the Tom Ford Mercurial. And I might be butchering that. Y'all don't make fun of me. So let's take a look at the Tom Ford Honeymoon. So the 2 shades I primarily want to take a look at. So this is the Mercurial here. I want to check this shade and this shade here with these 2 shades here. That's what I'm curious about. So let's try that. I will say the Honeymoon, that lightest shade, looks a little darker, but swatches tell it all. So it is a little darker. It's a different undertone. So now let's check this shade here. Oh, that's pretty close. Like the Honeymoon is a tad bit lighter, but just a tad. So this is Mercurial and this is Honeymoon. And this is Mercurial and this is Honeymoon. I don't see a shade for that light pink in here, but I think there's one in here, and this is the First Frost. So we're gonna check these two top shades of First Frost against these. So the First Frost, the lightest shade, does seem a lot lighter. Yes, it is. So this is Mercurial, this is Honeymoon's lightest shade, and this is First Frost. So definitely the lightest shades of those three are definitely different. So now I'm gonna go into this pink shade of First Frost and swatch it over here against these other pink shades. Wait, that didn't swatch right. There you go. So right there, this is Mercurial and this is First Frost. I will say First Frost has more silver shimmer and Mercurial is more rose goldy, but on camera, they pretty much don't look too far off. And honestly, sometimes shades, if they're not exact dupes, but they're very similar, when you put them on the eye, like nobody's gonna be like, that's First Frost on her eye, that's Mercurial, that's Honeymoon. Sometimes you can't tell. But I'm happy to have all three. Okay, so let's get into the look. But before we do, you guys, look at these flowers. They are absolutely stunning. They're done with paper. My friend Annette, sorry, I'm trying to fix. My friend Annette at Eventful AF gifted these to me, and she knows how much I love rose gold, so she put the pink. And of course, I said, wait, but what about Prince? So she had to get the Prince purple right, and she did. So we put that one as close to Prince as possible. You guys check her out on Instagram at Eventful AF. I'll have the info down below. She also has an Etsy store. You will not regret it. And if she don't treat you right, holla at your girl. 25 years in friendship, I'll get it right. I'll get it right. So thanks, Annette. So let's move on to the eye look. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we're gonna figure it out. I think I'm gonna start with this shade all over the eye. So this is just like a flat blending fluff brush, but I'm just gonna get that all over the eye, all over the eyelid. And I did not prep my eyelids or prime them, but I'm not going anywhere. I don't have enough time for it to get oily and creased. So I am gonna bring that up. And I'm dipping multiple times because I wanted to have a little more pigment and opacity. That's what I can appreciate about these Tom Ford quads. You can go subtle, or you can really just pile it up. But essentially, you start very subtle, which I like. So here's that shade on its own. Next, I want to go into this pink shade. It's like a burgundy with pink. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to angle my brush so I get the right shape. I'm going to start towards my lash line and then bring it upward, creating the shape I'm going to want. Dip again. if you hear my dog barking, he is not happy that he's not in here with me. Not at all. So once you get that shape you want, you just blend. And I'm gonna get a little more on the tip of the brush and blend it towards the center of the eye. And what's left, I'm gonna go up here and bring it up. That's beautiful already. This is a look. That's a look already. So I'm gonna go back into that first shade and just bring the shimmer into the shade I just brought up here. Again, because my eyes are hooded, I always bring it up. So when I'm looking forward in regular rest space mode, you can see it. You can see the whole look. So that is a look right there, but we are gonna intensify that with this eggplant plum color. Color of my sweater, it's so pretty. That was not planned. I have a date this weekend. I think this might be the look and the sweater. So let's go in again. I'm gonna intensify this outer V. Bring it up just a little. So we're gonna do the same thing we did with the previous color, just not overlap it completely. Just to intensify the outer V. That's stunning. But I'm gonna go back into this pink shade, just dip in the tip of the brush, and then just blend this out onto the center of the lid. And then I'm just gonna lightly just make sure there's no harsh lines. And that's beautiful. That's a whole look. That was so fast. So then I'm gonna go into the lightest shade, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone right under the brow, around the arch. It's where you want the primary color, or the most pigment, I'm sorry, and then fluff it out. And you can definitely bring it inward from the inner corner and fluff it up. That's beautiful. You really cannot go wrong with the Tom Ford wet dry formula, or dry wet. Doesn't matter which order you say it in. So now I'm gonna use that lightest shade and just do my inner corner. There you go. And if you want a day look, like I would do this as a day look, but if your profession or where you work, you just feel, or just your comfort level is not as pigmented in the outer V, you can leave it how we had it the first time before we added that intensity with the darkest shade. And it's beautiful. And if you love the look but you feel it's too pigmented, you just fluff it out with a blending brush and the color will sheer out a little more. So now I'm gonna go into this pink shade for the lower lash line, and I'm gonna bring that all the way across. It's just such a beautiful shade. It's such a beautiful shade. Now I'm gonna go into this shade here, the second lightest shade. I'm trying not to blind you, that's why I keep holding it this way. And I'm gonna bring that from the inner corner towards the center. And then whatever's left, just slide it across so I get that bling. It's beautiful. I had to move my camera down because I felt it was so up looking at the flowers. So here's the look, dry. And you can definitely bring this dark color like into the lower lash. You just make sure they meet right here and you bring it downward. And then you just make sure they meet so it's cohesive. And I'm pretty sure if I went in with my finger with this lighter shade or even wet, it's gonna be more opaque. So here it is dry. Let's move on to the wet look. So we're gonna do the exact same look, wet. So we're gonna go into that second lightest color. Oh, this is running out. I have a backup, don't you worry. So we're gonna go into this eye wet with the second lightest shade. And I want that all over the lid and upward. So here it is wet, just that first shade. That's a nice one and done, honestly. So next I'm gonna go into this shade here. I'm gonna do it again angled so I get the shape I want. You don't have to angle the brush if it's uncomfortable for you to do so, but if you do, you have less cleanup to do on the sides once you finish your look, which, I mean, cleanup doesn't bother me. I just clean it with a sponge, I swipe. So again, I'm bringing it inward and out. I'm sorry if this packaging is blinding you. I hope it isn't. So then we do like we did over there. Bring it on over. Blend, blend, blend. I'm not bringing it all the way in towards my nose. I'm not bringing it all the way in towards my inner corner just because I want it primarily out here because I feel like it just sinks my eyes. So everybody has their preference and how they feel makeup looks best on them. I just feel if I focus the darkest shades halfway out, don't look as sunken here, and they pop a little more and have more vibrancy. And I don't have big eyes, so I don't want anything to make them look smaller. Here you go. Here are the two shades. I feel like this one almost looks as dark as this one because it's wet. So let me blend out just a little. I didn't add anything additional to the brush. I'm just softening it out. So now I'm gonna go into this dark purple eggplant color. We're gonna wet that. So I'm going to pop that here. And again, I'm just doing this outer V. I'm not covering that last shade completely. And there you go. Oh, here it is, wet and dry. So now let's go into the brow bone with that lightest shade. So again, you want to start in the arch where you want the most pigment, and then flick it down towards the end of your brow. And then I like to start at the inner corner and flick it. So there you go. Ooh, she's bright. I feel like that's bright too though. So let me do the inner highlight. A little wetter. She's bright. And I'm gonna go into this shade first, just like we did on the other side. That's beautiful. And then I'm gonna bring that lighter shade like we did on the other side over here. I'm going to concentrate that here on the inner third, and then with whatever's left on the brush, we'll swipe it across. It looks beautiful already. You don't have to put, honestly, this dark shade on the outer third like I did over here, but for the sake of keeping it cohesively, we're gonna do that. I didn't wet the brush here, but the brush is still wet. There you go. It is stunning. So here it is wet. And here it is dry. I think you can definitely see the inner highlight there in the brow. It does have a bit more of a punch over here, especially that brow. But I love it. So let me finish my liner and lashes off camera and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So I have added some liner, some mascara. I did put on a little bit of blush, not much, from the same Hourglass sculpting palette. I just mixed both blushes. And the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Affair. Like, this lip color is everything. It tied it all together. If you guys have not picked one up, I believe there's still some in stock. Like, this is stunning. It's creamy. It's velvety. It has a matte look, like a matte velvet look. It's just, okay, sorry, off track. But here you go. Here's the finished look, wet. Finished look, dry. And here's both. This quad is beautiful, and although some shades did compare to others, there's nothing like opening a quad, knowing what you're gonna do, get it done and go. I'm not here for let's open 3 or 4 quads and get a look because I don't want to buy one that has, like, no. This is a totally different quad than First Frost. one of the shades was similar, but the first frost pulled more silvery shine, where this one was more of a true rose goldy shine. The Honeymoon quad, I honestly have not used it. I did a recent haul with it and I'll link it up here, but I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. What do you guys think? Did you guys pick it up? Are you gonna pick it up? Do you feel it's too close to the Body Heat or the Honeymoon? If you have those, I have Honeymoon, but I do not have Body Heat. And it was in my cart, but I decided, you know what? I'm gonna take that out of my wish list because I feel like this is very comparable. This dry wet formula is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It glides on smoothly, whether dry or wet. I mean, you see a little bit more of a kick here, but it really is beautiful. And this look, where's she going? Where are we going? Let's go. Again, I give it a true thumbs up. Like, definitely do not pick this up if this is not your color story. But this is, anybody that knows me, has been on my following my channel since the beginning, knows like this is me all day in a palette. So there are other palettes out there of Tom Ford with the same formula, and now that the Sephora VIB sale is on, this is at Sephora, so if you're interested, snatch it before they sell out. Right before I started filming, they still had it. So I thank you guys. Hope you have a good one. Don't forget, we're all perfectly imperfect. Love you. Bye.